Hello everyone, it's Christina from Our Home. Today I'm going to be showing you some more videos and photos of our new chickens. We are also going to be integrating them with our older chickens, so be sure to watch this whole video to see how that goes. Spoiler, there was some establishing of dominance with the older chickens and the younger chickens, but don't worry, it's totally normal and nobody got hurt during that process. So I'll be showing you our little temporary chicken enclosure, as well as talking about what we'll be using as a mini coop for the little chickens when we bring them home. This structure was put up a little while before we brought our new chickens home, just so the big ones could get used to it and so that we weren't rushed trying to get it put together as we brought home the little ones. So it's just made from chicken wire and some scrap lumber. It's situated in the big chicken pen we have for our bigger chickens. It does have some shade to keep the little ones cool and protected, and there's a small opening there. We have a dog crate we'll be using as the little coop for the baby chickens, and what we'll do is just push it up against that opening, open the door of the dog crate so the chickens can go in and out, and then at night we'll close them back up and bring them in the crate into the shed just to keep them safe from any predators. Eventually we will integrate the chickens, but for now, or for about a week I guess, we'll be keeping them separate. This is just so that everybody gets used to each other and they can see each other without having any incidents, I guess. If you just drop the chickens in with the old ones, that could cause some problems. It's always a good idea to keep your chickens separate if you're bringing new birds into your existing flock, regardless of the age. This next clip is when we brought them home and let them from the crate into their little enclosure. Should I try to pull them out?
No, they'll come out when they want.
I decided to get them out myself. I ended up having to crawl into the crate because they would just hop towards the back of it. They didn't really like being picked up, as you can tell, but I did manage to hold one of them to get a cute picture. Once they were taken out of the crate, they got used to the grass pretty quickly, and they found the food and water which we placed just outside the crate. They spent a lot of time just exploring their enclosure, looking around at everything, and the big chickens would walk along the fence watching them. It was pretty cute. They learned that their crate is the safety zone, so they went in there if they got startled by anything that they saw or heard outside.
June and Emmylou. It's the danger streak. That little one here found the food.
This is our setup with the new chickens and our other chickens. So this penned area just extends off our small enclosed chicken run. So at night, this door gets closed and our older chickens go into the coop at night, but they can come out a little door in the morning if they want. And having the big white door there just keeps them secure so that no predators can get to them. And then in the morning I come out, open up that door, and they come into this big enclosure. This big enclosure was just put in last summer It's temporary and movable. We do have some big posts like this one that are more permanent. So the big chickens come out here and they'll spend all day out here. As you can see, it is open. There's no roof on it, but this isn't a problem because they have lots of shelter with the trees, including our old Christmas tree that they like to hang out under. So when we were getting our new chickens, we knew they had to be separated for a bit, just so everybody gets used to each other and they can see each other, and then they can be integrated. So we have this structure, which I've shown you already, and at night the little chickens will go into this big dog crate, and we close that up and bring it into the shed side of our coop so that they've got a nice little secure area and they're still separated from the bigger chickens for a little while. And then in the morning, David and I bring the little coop dog crate contraption out together because it's a little bit awkward for one person. And then we put it right up against the opening for this temporary run, and the chickens can come in and go back into the dog crate as often as they want. So we know that chickens should usually be quarantined if you get new chickens and are introducing them to an existing flock. This is just to prevent any health concerns from spreading to the old flock. Sometimes chickens have pests or disease, that kind of thing, and you don't want to be introducing that to your new or to your older flock. However, we got our chickens from a reputable breeder. We've bought our other chickens from him before, and we've been able to tour his grounds and see the chickens that are there and the kind of environment that they have. So we feel confident that they do not have any diseases or health concerns. They're all healthy little chickens. So for that reason, we're not quarantining them specifically. We're just keeping them separate until everybody gets used to each other. And right now, Dolly, that one over there, she has bumblefoot, which is an infection in her foot, and we've been treating that with antibiotics in the water. So Dolly, June, and Emmylou are all drinking that water, which is fine for all of them, even if they're not sick. But from what I can tell, it's not safe for young hens. So our little ones are about 6 weeks old, and they should not be having that medication because it can cause problems with their growth and development. So for that reason, we'll be keeping the little ones separate for about a week, and then we'll be integrating them with the bigger girls once these three are done with their medication cycle. So far, the big girls are very curious about the little ones. They like to come up to the fence and see what they're doing. The big ones are kind of copying the moves of the little ones. So if the little ones are digging, the big ones will come and dig just on the other side of the fence. It's pretty cute. The little ones right now just got spooked by a little sparrow that landed on the top of the fence. I hear you, Emmylou. Emmylou is the one who's been most curious about the little chickens. It's very interesting. None of our chickens have had experience mothering any hens because we don't have a rooster. But she seems like she's going to be probably the one keeping an eye on the babies. They're very cute. They're not super tiny. They get a little skittish. I think they just startle each other. But they do know that this dog crate is their safety. So if they get spooked by something, they will run in there and hide, and then they come back out when they feel like it's safe. It is a small enclosure, but since they just go in there at night or on their own during the day, it's suitable because they're not in there for very long. When they go in there, they sleep at night. Bet is also very interested. I don't think she understands that they are chickens. She's very good with our chickens because they have pecked her on the nose, so she knows not to attack the chickens or hurt the chickens in any way. When we let them, the big ones, free range in the yard, Bet will follow them and try to eat their droppings, so that's not great. But apart from that, she's very gentle with them. She just doesn't understand that these little ones are also chickens. So you can see Emmylou on the other side of the fence, very interested in the babies. And in case anyone is curious, yes, the babies do have names. I've already picked out some names and we've assigned a name to one of them. We just haven't been able to distinguish the other two yet. As you can tell, they all look pretty similar. So we're waiting a bit until they get a bit bigger and have more distinguishable features or maybe different personalities so that we can assign names to them. But that one over there on the log by herself, that's Linda. And then the other two, their names will be revealed later. While the little ones are out, they make a lot of little chirps and cheeps at each other. And I think that's their way of just talking, saying, "Where are you? Are you okay? What are you doing? What did you find?" That kind of thing. It's very cute, and I'm going to miss it when they outgrow these little cheeps and start making squawks like the big ones. After about a week, we were ready to integrate the chickens. We brought the little ones in their dog crate into the coop with the big ones in the morning. And the big ones ran outside as soon as possible, and the little ones followed. You can see here Emmylou is being very nice with them, just kind of showing them what to do, where to go. She was very interested. Dolly was also interested, but June, who didn't really seem to like them, made it very clear that she's in charge. This is totally normal for chickens to do. They establish a pecking order, and when new chickens come in, those are automatically at the bottom. It's so interesting to see June with the little ones because previously we didn't really notice any pecking order with our old chickens. When we got them, we actually had 4. One of them died last year, but we didn't get to spend a lot of time with the chickens when they were very young because we were just so busy with other things. So we never saw them really scuffling and pecking at each other, trying to establish that hierarchy. So we kind of just assumed maybe none of them were the leader. Maybe there was no head chicken. But it quickly became clear to us that June is in fact the leader, the dominant one. And she made that clear to the little ones as well. She did peck them several times this first day, and the little ones would kind of run away from her if they saw her coming. The other two seemed to be less interested in establishing dominance and more just curious about the little ones. I have been keeping an eye on June just to make sure that she's not being overly mean or aggressive. And so far she's been fine. The little ones aren't terrified. They're still walking around out with the big ones. But the little ones tend to stay by themselves and the big ones stay by themselves or they go their separate ways. But this has been such an interesting experience watching all the chickens socialize and integrate and the little ones just figure out where everything is in the run. While I'm recording this, it is currently day 2 of the chickens all being mixed together, and I think they're doing okay. The little ones didn't want to go into the coop last night. I'm not sure, maybe they just didn't understand that's where you go, or if they just didn't want to, but we had to kind of corral them in after we had managed to confine them in the smaller chicken run with the white door on it. I ended up going inside, crouched by the door that they come into, and David stayed outside and tried to corral them in. this proved to be pretty challenging, and as they were running in, I did manage to kind of hold them on my lap so they didn't run out again. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you don't have chickens, or maybe just aren't interested in chickens, I hope that you at least found this video cute, entertaining, and maybe a little bit informative. I think it's kind of interesting to see how other people live and the things that they experience that I might not get to experience, so I hope that's the case with you watching this video as well. Feel free to give this a like or drop me a comment below, and take a look around at some of the other videos here on my channel, and if you like what you see, I hope that you consider subscribing. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.